opportunity to welcome the University of Nairobi Fraternity to this particular forum and to welcome our neighbors who have managed to be with us. Today we are privileged to have Professor Patricia Edwards to give us a public lecture on literacy, globalization, and value-based education. Professor Patricia Edwards is a distinguished professor of teacher education at the Michigan State University in the United States of America, and she is a specialist in reading and literacy education. She has published widely in refereed journals and authored several books and book chapters. Professor Edwards is distinguished in writing research projects which have been honored through significant funding.
It has always been the desire of the college to invite distinguished scholars to come and share knowledge and experiences with our staff and students. And today, we are more than delighted to have Professor Edwards to come and talk to us about literacy, globalization, and value-based education. So I want to welcome you now.
The question is, what is global literacy? The American Association of Universities has proposed that colleges and universities, Michigan State is a land-grant university, but we are also a world-grant university. It's for us to create settings that foster students' understanding of the interaction between their lives and global issues, and their sense of responsibility as local and global citizens. Even though you live in Kenya, you live in the world, and the world is, we all share the same earth, and so therefore it's important that we understand students' ways of knowing. Students should have sustained opportunities to learn about the human imagination, expression, and the products of many cultures, the interactions within and among global and cross-cultural communities, means of modeling the nature, social, and technical worlds, and the values and histories underlying U.S. democracy. I mean, U.S. is one country, but there are multiple countries, and we can learn and grow from each other. What is global literacy? Within higher education in the United States and in Canada, there's been calls to promote global awareness and global literacy among undergraduate students. So we have overseas programs where students go all over the world learning about different cultures. Yet there are multiple challenges in achieving these outcomes. One of the challenges lies in making this literacy authentic and relevant for diverse students aspiring to be professionals in different fields. If a student comes to the U.S. or they go to Australia or they go to the United Kingdom and they're learning literacy, can they use that same literacy if they come back to Kenya? How do you adapt the kinds of literacies you learn? A second challenge that we have been considering in the U.S. is reconciling the tension between teaching for deep mastery of knowledge in a subject area on the one hand and teaching for broader global awareness through a collection of courses and experiences. A third challenge is developing in students the tactic understanding that enables them to link the global and the local in ways that are meaningful and useful in their work and in their lives. So these are some of the things that people are thinking about as we are trying to prepare students for global understanding. Global literacy is the understanding of how the world is organized and interconnected, and the possibilities and constraints facing people. And even though the constraints here in Kenya might not be similar to the constraints in the U.S., we still have constraints. Global literate students analyze and think critically about the world and their roles in it. And there are several rationales for global literacy. One is facilitating effective participation in an interconnected and rapidly changing world, promoting inquiry, reasoning, collaborative problem solving across all fields, developing communicative competencies, including languages, and it's very true, Americans are the only monolingual world power because we speak English. Most Americans do not speak more than one language. They should be learning Spanish because the fastest growing immigrant population in the U.S. is Hispanics. Preparing for effective participation in increasingly globalized systems of production and exchange, grasping evolving geopolitical realities, exercising responsible citizenship locally and globally, and encouraging a respect for cultural difference. But the next big thing is promoting equity, access, excellence for all students in an interconnected and rapidly changing world. So that's what global literacy is thinking about. When people talk about why literacy, literacy is a right. Literacy is a right. Literacy is a foundation for all further learning. Literacy carries profound individual and social benefits. Literacy matters for poverty reduction. Cultural benefits, questioning attitudes and norms, improves ability to engage with one's culture. Social benefits, better knowledge of healthcare, family planning, HIV, AIDS prevention, higher chance of parents educating their children, economic benefits. So when you have self-esteem and empowerment, political benefits, cultural benefits, social benefits, economic benefits, then the playing ground, the playing field is leveled. From misery to hope is a tool for daily life in modern society. For everyone, everywhere, literacy is along with education in general, a basic human right. Literacy is finally the road to human progress and the means through which every man, woman, and child can realize his or her full potential. That is very true. What is literacy? Being able to sign one's name, being able to read and write a simple sentence, describing one's daily activities, being able to read and write, being able to pass a written test on reading comprehension at a level that is comparable by the average student at grade 4, being able to engage in all of those activities in which literacy is required for effective functioning. And so that's what literacy is. Generally, the present view of what literacy constitutes is that it is dynamic. This view assumes that literacy should be defined only within the country or culture over time, but literacy means different things in different places. So what are values? Confusion with beliefs. Where do they come from? Types of values, are they personal, civic, social, environmental? Because you probably heard about the environmental rights people, killing animals and all of that. Are values taught or caught? Do values change? Values implied in international instruments? Values in world faiths? Are values culturally bound, or are they inherent to the human condition, or are they universal? Universalism vis-a-vis cultural relativism, shared values, path to peaceful, sustainable world, unity through shared values within diversity. Like values can change over a lifetime as experiences change your view. There are types of values. There's moral values, material values, aesthetic values, intrinsic values, extrinsic values, universal values or American values. Because sometimes people only think from one perspective, and you have to put yourself in multiple perspectives, and this whole group specific values, how groups feel. It's not doing things right, but doing the right things. Okay, we live in difficult times when peace and human security are facing new challenges at the individual and global level. Education is a dimension for the long-term process of building peace, tolerance, justice, and intercultural understanding, the reorientation of education to create a better world. So that's when I think values come in a lot. Value education is not something new, extra. It is building upon what already exists. Value education is both national and state agendas. Values can be personalized, politicized, contested. Values education can strengthen students' self-esteem, optimism, and help students to exercise ethnic judgment and social responsibility. What is new is progress toward a conscious, explicit, planned approach to value education for all students in all schools. So what I'm going to do is close. Worldviews don't exist in a vacuum. They come out of our beliefs that we hold about the world. We need to understand why people hold different values and why they behave differently. The overall perspective from which one sees and interprets the world. A collection of beliefs about life or the universe held by an individual or group. It is the root source. It is the source from which our thoughts, actions, and feelings spring. So as you are going to college and about to finish college, one of the things that you want to do is think about the world. So I'm going to close, and we're going to sing a little bit of We Are the World.